Alright, hello everyone. Today we're going to be doing another season review in Apex Legends. Today's episode, or season, or whatever, is going to be on season 16, also known as the Revelry season. This began on February 14th, 2023, and ended on May 9th, 2023. This is the first season that we don't get a new legend, so that's a major, and I mean crazy major critique of this season and future seasons that we don't get legends, is that we are literally called Apex Legends. This is the title of the game, and we're not getting a fucking legend. Now, I would understand, because this season added some really game-changing features, so I can let that, rest. I can push it aside. However, this was the point of change in which now we get no content for a full year practically, and one legend release. The last legend release was older, and that was over a year ago. So that really goes to show how this one single instance in change 2 years ago has now ended up being a massive change in that we just never really get legends anymore. It made sense before because the content shifted. As you guys remember in the last video, I made a massive complaint. I think everyone was complaining at the time that all we really get is legends and there was no real innovation to the game. The game felt the same. There was no real anything else but just a new character every season. And maybe like a POI that gets updated. And that was it. And this was definitely a good area in which they tried to innovate. They tried to improve upon the game and make it better. Similar to, like, if you guys remember the Evo shields, when they added that, that changed the game entirely. They really wanted to dabble into just having a feature of the game be completely altered so that we actually, like, get a new sense of, like, this game is new, like, this feels new. And that was definitely the right way to go, because I believe to this day, Season 16 is the highest reoccurring players, I think, on Steam. So that's obviously a really good move off the developers to basically take the risk. Okay, right, we've already got a lot in this season. We're not going to release a legend because of the legend pool or whatever they said at the time. They don't want to overclock the legend pool, which I think is a stupid decision. Because if that's the reason, that's stupid, because the legend pool shouldn't be clogged. There's only like 20 odd legends in the game. That's not a shitload. Other games have like 40 odd. They literally double the amount in Apex. I digress though. So I think the reason is a bit stupid, but the fact that they already had a lot in the season, that's why they're not going to release a legend. That makes more sense, because you want to give each season like an equal kind of opportunity to thrive. If you release like a shitload in one season and then the next season you don't release as much, then that next season looks terrible and therefore no one will really play it. That makes sense. So if they gave that as the reason, I would understand. But to like overclog the loot pool of legends, that just doesn't make sense. There's literally hardly any characters in the game to begin with. Anyway, but we did get a new weapon, so that's a good thing as well. So instead of getting a new legend, we got a new weapon. So I guess that's the kind of new kind of motive now, is that instead of getting a weapon and a legend in some seasons, now we'll get one or the other. But the sad thing is, and the sad reality is, this is also this is also the last weapon that we got in this game 2 years ago. Yes. So that is just terrible. We literally have not got a weapon since. Which is just like, for someone who really likes using different types of weapons in games, and obviously you guys have seen my Call of Duty series recently. I like progression, using different weapons, getting Nebula on all the different camos and all the different weapons and everything, and all the new events that come out and the release new weapons. Like, that is like my ideal kind of situation. And now we have a weapon mastery system for weapons that aren't getting added to the game. So yeah, that's obviously a big disappointment. Good thing is though, is like, that's kind of like the only like that's like of course, like good thing is that that's one of the big things for the season, but then it's the last time that we actually get a weapon, and also as well for the season as well, we didn't have any map updates. I mean, we technically did because like every map got like decorations and stuff to celebrate. I think it was 4 years or whatever of Apex, but that was it. There was no actual map update apart from that. So it definitely felt a bit dry and a bit repetitive, and the only thing that we actually had to look forward to was the new content, which was the legend class system. So we also got a new battle pass, obviously, with a theme of celebration, a reactive weapon, which is the Mastiff, and 4 events: the 4th anniversary event, Sun Squad, Imperial Guard, and Veiled as well. So, new content, we got the Nemesis Burst AR, we got Mixtape, which I think is absolutely a great feature, but it, once again, just like Arenas, has not been adapted more into the game, where basically the problem is with Mixtape is that there's no progression. And that's a big thing for Apex right now that I need them to solve. And they've kind of tried to solve a little bit better with the recent Season 24 by improving the weapon mastery system. But apart from that, like there's nothing really much to say. Obviously, weapon mastery got added in Season 17, which is the one after this. But progression needs to be prioritized. And when Mixtape got released, it was just kind of like this, and it still is, this one mode that is just like, if you're feeling bored of Battle Royale, play this. Or if you don't like Battle Royale, play this. And it's like, that shouldn't be what it is. It shouldn't be like a, you play this or you play this. Or if you are bored of this, then you play this. It should be more of like a, if you want to spice it up and play something else, or if you want to get progression or do your challenges on this, it should be something that you like kind of are excited to play. Like, same for Battle Royale as well, same for like that as well. There needs to be progression systems that keep you engaged, that you actually want to play and you want to unlock something in the end. And that's what I think Apex needs to get right, like what Call of Duty has done. Call of Duty does it right in terms of making you feel engaged, and the final reward is something that you actually cherish quite a lot. Like when I get a Nebula camo, I'm like, damn, that's pretty cool. Because I can actually flex that in games, and people go, wow, okay, you actually got that weapon in Nebula. That's pretty cool. So it's like, that's the kind of things that I'm wishing that actually come to the game that probably aren't, because I cry out for these things for years and it never happens. But yeah, that's the kind of downfall of Mixtape. It's great, don't get us wrong, but replacing arenas and kind of just having like control, gun run, team deathmatch, and these modes just acting as like, if you don't want to play Battle Royale, play these. It's kind of just like the same thing. It's like an Arenas 2.0. So yeah, it's just a little bit disappointing that they didn't go further with that since. Anyway, remastered legend classes. So we have the Assault Legends, which can open weapon supply bins that contain smart loot. They also have the ability to carry extra ammo per stack. This has all been changed since, because obviously this has been like a major area where the developers have tried to improve upon, which I think is great, but once again, there's no real synergy between the classes, because Skirmisher still only has one perk, and that is that you can highlight the highest tier loot in a care package. What's the fucking point in that? No one really cares about that. So there still needs to be a little bit of synergy between the classes, a little bit of equality, I guess, where each class actually gets a similar amount of perks as one another. Because Skirmisher still has one, and some classes have like 3 or 4, which just doesn't make sense. Recon can use the survey beacons like before, and that was it for the time. It was just that one. Control legends can use ring consoles, and support legends can use the blue supply bins, as well as crafting team banners at a replicator. This has all been changed though, which is quite surprising. Then we also got new orientation matches as well. We got the level 4 shotgun bolt as well, and a new firing range. New updates to the firing range. The new firing range was next season. So we actually got quite a lot of changes here. This definitely looks a lot more positive than the previous seasons because it actually adds new attachments. It adds new attachments. We haven't had a new hop-up or a new attachment in ages, but it also has a new mode as well. So if you are getting bored, you know, if we're going to use that kind of example, if you are getting bored of Battle Royale, you can play something different on this game, which is great. It has a new weapon, which I think is great. It has the whole remastered legend classes. Great. Like, if we are going to supplement a new legend release with a whole remaster to every single character in the game with like new perks, as well as a new weapon, I will take that every day of the week over a new legend. I'm sorry. Mainly because the seasons prior, a lot of the legends were actually pretty damn weak. So I absolutely understand that kind of motive to do this over a legend release. I get it, 100%. But in recent seasons, I don't. So for this one, that is the exception to the rule. And that's probably why so many people play this season, because there's so much new content in it. And 4 events as well, all with LTMs, I believe. So you can really see how this season really did do good. But yeah, I'm going to play all the different trailers for you guys, so you guys can obviously see what actually came from all the trailers. There wasn't as many trailers, obviously, this time, because we didn't get a Meet the Legend, because there's no Legend one. We did get a Story from Outlands because there's no story, because there's no new character. So there's only 3 trailers, but I'll play them right now for you guys.
Focus. Block out the noise. Just you and the target.
Oh, combat 𝗙𝗲𝘁𝗂𝗏𝗁𝗀.
Well, now, guess we don't make such a bad team after all.
We'll see.
And here we go.
Check your maps. Machine told me where to find enemies.
I've divined the ring's next location.
Got some extra supplies over here.
Guess this old dog still has a few tricks.
Underestimate me and pay the price. Watch out. I'll eat you alive.
Out of my way, cause I'm hot on the run. We see the blaze of the trail when I'm done. No mistake, I was born on the sun. Oh yeah, it's a party now. I'm taking things to a new level.
I am more prepared than you know.
No mercy.
Oh yeah, let's get rowdy now. Charge me up, charge me up. Charge me up, charge me up. Charge me up, charge me up. Now I got full power.
Guys, look at this! Guys, look!
Now I got full power.
We had fun, right? I mean, I had fun.
When it's time to show up, you better show out.
Wanna fly?
Oh, yeah!
And in these games,
Bring the party.
the legendary do it loud with the Revelry Battle Pass.
Together, we will lock our enemies.
Cool, calm, and calculated. Crypto hijacks every fight in style with the Technocrat skin.
I'm always watching.
And with the legendary Frenzied Frequency G7, putting a little distance between you and your target never looked so good.
Access denied.
But when the going gets tough, everyone could use a party crasher.
Who's ready to pull some G's?
Valkyrie's new Heartbeat Harmonizer legendary skin is the ultimate combo of making an entrance and making an exit. If you want to bring the party to them, it doesn't hurt to grab a headliner Mastiff.
Glad we got to spend some quality time together.
Just make sure you arrive looking your best.
Well done.
Epic skins for Bloodhound, Mirage, and Rampart should help with that.
Oh, I love a good party, mate. Best way to show off the gear.
With a variety of weapon skins, gun charms, banner frames, and emotes, every match is a chance to keep the party going.
Let's get rowdy!
With the Revelry Battle Pass,
I steal more than just your heart. Your journey ends here, legends.
unless you wish to go quietly into the night.
Some were born to run. Others have a higher purpose.
So from them trailers, I honestly really like it. It definitely does feel like a celebration. Everyone felt as if it's like, you know, let's actually have a little bit of a break season. I think people were actually wanting a little bit of a break season from the Legend releases to have a little bit of a health update. But from what I can remember, it wasn't much of a health update in terms of bug fixes and stuff like that. It was kind of just like a, let's just try and rework the classes and try and create some sort of order within the game. And that's one of my critiques recently with a lot of these new perks that have been added in recent seasons, is that in trying to create order in this season by giving everyone a similar equal amount of perks, all with a similar amount of, uses, it's kind of recent seasons haven't done that. They went, okay, we're going to focus on support this season. Okay, we're going to focus on assault this season. And in the process of doing that, they only give them classes a shitload of perks and make them OP. Which, I mean, I guess it can be pretty good because then them legends for a season are very, very good. But then it's pretty bad because then if you want to actually create balance and actually make the class system valid and actually fun to play as any character, then you can't, because that's going to be forever looming across the game, is that there's always going to be some class that has more perks, that has a better advantage. And I always think as well that there should be like 2 or 3 perks for each class, and one of them should be like a selfish perk, and the other two could be like team-based perks, something like that, or whatever. But for some reason, the Assault class in this recent update only has selfish perks. Not a single one of the perks that they have is for the team, which is weird because a lot of the other classes have at least one or two team-based perks. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the actual control or order they're trying to do now over it, but it definitely does not seem very orderly. But in this season, I actually liked how it used to be in terms of perks for the classes. But yeah, that's just my opinion right there. As for the Nemesis, it's a great weapon. It released very OP, which I think is the perfect thing that you need for a new weapon. You want to be OP, you want people using it. And yeah, Mixtape was fun. I think that's like the only season that I actually played Mixtape because I just don't really like that type of... When there's no progression, there's no reason for me to play it, you know? And of course, once again, the Legend classes were pretty good, and the Shotgun Bolt as well. So there's not really much else to say. There's a few updates to the Fire Range, but this was just in preparation for the Fire Range update, which was the season after. But yeah, please do let me know what you guys think about the about this season. But I'm going to give this season overall, I would say, was it better than Season 7? I would say potentially yes. I would say yes. I would say 8.5. I would say the season got, because it was a change that we needed, but in the same regard, I think future seasons took the disadvantages from not releasing the Legend and overemphasized that. They basically went, right, okay, well, we're going to release no content in these future seasons and not release a new Legend. So there wasn't any compromise, you know, which I think is terrible. So for this season, they've done it great for not releasing the Legend. If they did release the Legend alongside, that would be like a 9 or a 9.5. I would say that's probably on par with a lot of the other ones up there, Season 2 and Season 3. But because they didn't release Legend, there wasn't something new to play with. All we really had was like a perk or two for our favourite characters. And obviously a new weapon and whatnot, which we've seen in previous seasons come alongside a lot of new additions. But because, you know, Season 2 and Season 3, we had everything. We had a new character, we had a new weapon, we had new like map updates, everything. You know, we had new systems, ranked, everything like that. New map. So we had all that in just one season. With this, we're starting to compromise some things. So that's why it's a little bit lower than them seasons, 8.5. I think that's a quite fair and accurate score. So please let me know what you guys think about this season, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.